Hey guys, welcome back. If you're a fan of horse racing, you're probably very familiar with this tune. But you may not be familiar with is what goes on behind the scenes for many months by many hardworking people in order for this to happen. So today I'm going to take you with me to our local track in Vancouver and share what happens with our horses during a normal training day. So come along and I hope you enjoy. So I grabbed some caffeine and muster up the courage to show you my vehicle, which is a hot mess, and there's some not so subtle signs that I own horses in it. Okay, so on the floor here, a halter that needs repairing, some old Gatorade bottles, water bottles, empty carrot bag, disgusting barn gloves and hat. Now we move to the back and I've got Timothy pellets, feed, tack box, another halter, 2 more bags of feed in the back, and an old air conditioning unit. Like, what has my life become? Seriously. When I arrive, I show my track license to security in order to gain access to the backstretch.
Morning.
Right now everything is quiet because it's morning break time, and very soon this backstretch area will be full of activity with horses and people everywhere. So I make my way over to our stable. And on my way there, I see that the maintenance vehicles are out preparing the track for the second half of today's training sessions. This track has been in operation since the late 1800s, but this isn't the original site. This current track and backstretch area was constructed in around the 1960s, I think, and it's definitely showing its signs of age. So although it lacks being modern, it makes up for it with its views, because it's stunning. The days start very early here while most of us are still sleeping. In our barn, people start to arrive around 4 a.m. Each horse will get inspected to make sure all is well and things get underway. I'll get back to more on that later, but now it's time for a couple of introductions. If you've been following along, you will have already met Tucker. And you will have already met his big goofball brother, PETA. Can you stop? Thanks. PETA, if you remember, was involved in what I call the Great Teddy Bear Heist a few months ago, so I'll link that video below for you to go and watch. It's pretty funny. This is Aria. She's 6, and fun fact, she is the great-great-granddaughter of Secretariat. I don't know how many of you follow racing, but chances are you've heard of Secretariat because he's arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest racehorse of all time. He sired a lot of children, so it's actually not uncommon to see him pop up in a lot of horses' bloodlines, but it's still pretty cool to own a descendant of his. It's like owning a part of history. Today we're going to be watching these two, Timmy on the left and Jack on the right, get ready and go out on the track to train. I like to think that most of our horses are very level-headed, they're very easy to work with, easy to train. But there's always that one, and that one for us is Jack. He not only keeps us all on our toes, he is also the reason we have our therapist on speed dial. Jack has a pretty incredible story, and that actually deserves a video of its own. We bought him as a 2-year-old for $8,000, which for a racehorse is not a lot of money, and he is now on a billboard. And his claim to fame is that he is a double derby winner, meaning he's won 2 different derbies, which are very prestigious, on 2 different tracks. Every morning, each of our horses are tied with bungees. We don't use cross ties. And they receive a grooming, their hooves are picked, and their shoes are checked. Each horse that is in training that day gets outfitted with the appropriate tack for the exercise rider, and then taken out to be walked for its warm-up. The track pony is led out and is waiting to greet them and escort them out to the track. Now, a track pony isn't actually a pony. It's more or less a nickname for a calm horse that escorts a thoroughbred out to the track. Thoroughbreds can be very high-spirited, especially the younger ones, and many thoroughbreds go from their racing career to becoming track ponies once they've retired. Track ponies can provide a calming presence to these guys and often help correct them if their behavior gets out of line. Jack's now sufficiently warmed up, so he's led out of the stable, and the exercise rider is waiting, and she's going to just hop on his back and off they'll go. Not all horses need a pony escort. I'll show you that in a second, but Jack definitely needs one. Once they reach the track entrance, they announce the racing name of the horse and what type of workout it's going to be today. Depending on the day, it could be just a light run for exercise, which isn't recorded, or they could be doing a full work where the times are recorded and published by the track's timekeeper that then get published by things like the daily racing form, which people use as an assistant when they're placing their bets on horse racing days. While they're out on the track, back at the stable, they only have a short turnaround time in order to clean the stall, lay down fresh bedding, refill hay nets, replenish water, and get everything done. I love coming down here in the morning and watching these gorgeous animals train out on the track. They're so majestic. They're so incredibly beautiful. It just takes my breath away. So Jack has his workout, and it's nothing too crazy today. He's not going full out or anything like that. And in typical Jack fashion, he's always trying to eat either the pony rider or the pony. Once they arrive back at the stable, the exercise rider dismounts and removes their saddle and pad, and Jack is then immediately blanketed and gets a different halter on and is hand walked, also known as hot walked or hot walking, until he cools down. Depending on the weather, they then get a bath, and then they're returned to their stall where they're groomed again for a second time. They're inspected for any nicks or cuts from dirt kickback that they may have gotten on the track, and those are treated accordingly. And depending on the intensity of the workout, they may get a poultice on their legs or maybe ice boots. Each horse is fed a diet that is custom designed to tailor to their own individual needs, and as you can see, we buy a lot of bulk carrots and apples around here. The process repeats itself again for Timmy, who again is let out. This time one of the jockeys is actually taking him out to train this morning. As you can see, Timmy does not have a pony escort out to the track. He's a pretty chill dude, very easygoing. He's able to make it out there on his own. Timmy goes for a gallop and they come back to the stable, and again he removes his saddle and pad and he's let in, blanketed, and hot walked. The people who work here all have one thing in common, and it's that they're passionate about horses. I know from first-hand experience that it's not an easy job. I hope that this gave you a bit of insight into what happens behind the scenes with both the horses and the people, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.